Welcome to the After Show. This blog-style platforms allow us more time to focus on certain headlines and explore intriguing topics. Today I'm here with
Trent.
And our topic is streaming devices are taking over the cable industry. So, like always, I'm going to open this up with, how do you feel about this, Trent?
Generally, I have seen more and more people use streaming services like Netflix and Hulu and stuff than having cable. Personally, in my household, we have one TV with cable, and that's just so my dad can watch sports and NASCAR and whatnot. Every other TV, we have Netflix or something like that.
It's funny that you say that because my household is the same way. All the TVs are Roku's or Fire Stick or some type of streaming device where we can watch Netflix and Hulu and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom's TV is the only TV in the house that has cable because she likes to watch her morning news.
Yep, that's basically how it is. We just have the living room TV.
Do you prefer watching Netflix and like Hulu or Amazon movies over watching like cable or regular cable?
Yeah, because I can just choose what I want to watch and not have to deal with whatever they put on.
Do you prefer watching like Netflix, Hulu, or like YouTube over watching cable?
YouTube.
You'd rather watch like
YouTube.
So you wouldn't watch cable?
No.
Do you prefer watching Netflix or like Hulu or Amazon over watching cable?
Yeah. I prefer Netflix, Hulu over cable. Most definitely.
Why?
Because I enjoy Netflix. And I don't know what it's gonna say. Okay, I enjoy Netflix and Hulu. I don't watch cable like that. And plus, I don't like commercials.
Okay then, no commercials. Do you prefer watching like Netflix and like Amazon movies or whatever over watching cable?
I would rather watch Netflix
Why?
because there's more movies and like they got movies like that just coming out.
What kind of movies you like watching?
I like watching 13 Reasons Why and Empire, stuff like that.
Okay, appreciate it. Do you prefer watching Netflix or like Hulu movies or Prime? It don't matter. Over watching cable.
I prefer Netflix, honestly, because cable, there really isn't much things on there as it was before. And, like, for example, Disney Channel, it's not the
It
same.
ain't hitting like YouTube. It's all ain't like YouTube.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Do you prefer watching Netflix or like Amazon movies over watching cable?
I watch Netflix, because they got more stuff on it. Better than watching cable, other than unless like a game or something come on, I get on TV.
Why don't you watch cable as much?
Because it's the fact that Netflix got, I actually watch Netflix more to see how like the other stuff come out, because when you watching regular TV, you don't really see as much stuff. Especially like the good stuff,
Do you prefer watching Netflix or Amazon movies over watching cable?
I prefer Netflix because like Netflix you get like a variety of choices.
People say, statistics say that people who are 60 years or older are watching cable. I can believe that.
I can't too, because a lot of older shows are also played on cable TV.
What
was it, Golden Girls?
Yeah, and House on the Prairie and stuff like that. And there's no reason for them to try to, my grandmother is not trying to watch the shows on Netflix.
Like Stranger Things and Riverdale and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
no, they're not trying to watch them all-time streaming TV shows.
Yeah.
22% watch combination of cable TV and streaming devices. So there's that mix between us. Like that's our 22% would be our family, where we watch both our streaming devices and the cable TV.
Yeah.
31% watch both, and between that, that's in the ages of 18 and 29. So I can see how the age will affect depending on your streaming device. Of course, the younger you are, before we get into, what do you watch?
I use Netflix mostly if I'm gonna watch TV. I like to watch Riverdale, Stranger Things. I like to watch a lot of movies, a lot of scary movies as well. And Netflix is pretty good at providing scary movies, so that's what I do.
I used to be a big Netflix head too, but recently I just got back into YouTube, so cannot relate.
I watch YouTube a lot too.
I'm on YouTube so much, it's ridiculous.
That's one streaming device I haven't heard in a while. YouTube exclusive. What was it?
Oh yeah, YouTube TV.
Yeah, YouTube TV.
I didn't even think about that. There's also another streaming device that is starting to take way.
Mhm.
And I mean, regardless if you want to say it or not, even the YouTube channels and the videos and the gamers and all that content that YouTube provides, that's all, it's not TV shows, but it's streaming content, and that counts. And I don't think the 10%, like I said earlier, I don't think the 10%.
Go ahead and read that one out so they know what we're talking about.
Yeah. The 10% people are only streaming devices. Supposedly 10% people are only streaming devices. I apologize, I had no clue what I was talking about. But now that you do, I don't see how that 10% is. I don't think it's 10%.
I don't know. I mean, if it's only streaming devices that they're using, I might be able to see it, because a lot of homes, like we said, ours do use both. Granted, we might not put ourselves in that category.
You can't put yourself in that category if you have both.
Because technically, you do have both at the home, and that's what this is talking about. It's more like 10% of homes only have streaming devices. So I can kind of understand where this is going a little bit more. That it's only 10% are using like Netflix, Amazon Prime.
I feel like those numbers would also change, because I don't feel like Twitch, YouTube, regardless if you'd like to say it or not, a lot of streaming content comes off those type of
Twitch and Mixer are like two of the biggest streaming platforms on the internet. I mean, mixed with YouTube and Facebook.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that 10% is also included in that.
Yeah, I doubt that's included.
But that is, in my book, that is also another streaming app. I wouldn't say device, streaming app. And it's taken off right now. People who've kept their cable, supposedly, are just like we've already said, it's just for college football and professional sports.
Yep.
And people that, I can see that, because if, for example, I wouldn't want to switch to a Fire Stick and then have to buy the package for college football, package for NFL football, or any type of sport. It's more money than you're already spending on the on the streaming device and the Netflix, Hulu, them things.
Yeah. This is just coming from me because I work at Buffalo Wild Wings, for those who don't know, and we're a sports bar. So for a lot of the sports games, we have a bunch of people come in. So that 10% that only uses those streaming platforms at home might go to places like that to watch their sports games, so they don't have to pay for it. Which, I mean, is smart, but if you've ever been to Buffalo Wild Wings on a Saturday or Sunday, sometimes we have an hour wait, and unless you get there 30 minutes to an hour beforehand, you're probably not going to get a table for about an hour, or maybe even until the game gets done.
Yeah, and then you went to Buffalo Wild Wings to watch a game, and then not even got to watch it. But here's this out: 60 people. So 60 people. I apologize. 60% of people say the next 12 months they will drop cable. Again, these are all statistics. This is not. We're going off a website we trust and providing you with the information we read about. But how you feel about that? 60% people transitioning from cable to streaming devices.
I can see it happening once. I mean, this isn't supposed to affect anybody, but once this older generation, once the generation before ours starts to clear out, I don't want to say die off because that sounds a little bit more harsh than it should.
Yeah, that is.
But once their
time is done.
Yeah, once their time is done, I can definitely see those cable services starting to deplete. They just won't be as needed because, again, we use stuff like Netflix, Hulu. Like our generation, that's what started these big businesses with streaming.
and that's just what we're going to continue with. And that's when that's another question. Do you think these cable industries are going to come out with their own streaming devices?
Well, it's just like we were talking about before. This on demand is kind of like a form of streaming, like because you can get all the movies you want, even if they're not being played on like a TV channel or anything.
All the TV
you can
shows,
find a movie.
All the TV shows, all your news, anything you've missed, anything
Yep.
you want to watch ahead, anything. If you pay
On
for
demand.
it, yeah. And
So it seems like one of those kind of things has already been started to be produced.
and eventually, I can see it branching off and it becoming its own thing, like on-demand AT&T or on-demand Comcast, or and you go into the store buying a little stick and you put it in your TV.
Just like the Fire Stick.
And I mean, we're not saying cable industries will run out of business because even though my mom has different, she has cable in one room and a Fire Stick and a Roku in another room, she still signs into the DirecTV app. She still gets on the DirecTV. You know, there's still going to be those people that keep their account, but only have to pay for the account, not the monthly actual cable box and stuff like that.
Yeah, until there's a certain streaming platform that only does like sports games and stuff like that, cable will never just be completely gone, because a lot of people watch on their phones through stuff like that, like Xfinity apps or DirecTV apps, anything like that. People watch that on their phones. That's what they use because you can't really get it anywhere.
It's convenient.
Exactly. Like just the other day, we were driving to, I forgot where we went, but my dad just set his phone on the dashboard and was watching the Georgia game.
And it's a lot more convenient to, already have a service provider. Click on that, click on this, you're watching the game. A lot of people also are keeping their cable for their internet.
Yeah, I can see that. That's what, I don't know if we're doing that, but it's just going through the same company, you get better deals. I can definitely see that.
Cheaper prices, better deals. And, with keeping the same internet provider, that would, that's that percentage that will refuse to change.
Yeah. I mean, even some of our generation still relies on cable. I mean, I still go on there sometimes to watch the news. However, I have been recently using stuff like Snapchat and Instagram now. These are our specific Snapchat stories for stuff like that.
And Instagram stories, and you can follow news channels and stuff like that, yeah.
So it's also one of those things that's becoming more and more not as needed, because news channels on cable just aren't as needed as they used to be. Everybody used to wake up at 6 o'clock, get the 7 o'clock news. What everybody did. People stayed up for the 10 o'clock news at night. But nobody actually needs to do that anymore, because if you miss that 10 o'clock news, you can just look it up once you wake up at 7, 8 o'clock.
With this time of age, it's more convenient.
Because you have everything you need at the tip of your fingers right here. And what you can get off that TV, you can get the same thing plus more on this little computer that you put in your pocket every day.
And I mean, that also applies for streaming devices, Netflix, Hulu. You can get all that on your phone.
Netflix app on my phone right here.
Me too.
Netflix and YouTube right at the top.
It's the only probably two things I touch on a daily. When you get older, let's say you get your own house. What ways? What are you thinking? I just want to hear your opinion. How are you gonna approach?
I will probably use streaming platforms, just because I've never been too much of a sports person unless I'm there. Like if I'm in the stadium, I'm all for some sports. But if I'm not there, I don't too much care for it. I don't really enjoy it. That's just me.
And I mean, my opinion is I'm the same way, streaming platforms, but I'm a big sports head. So, but the way I go around sports, sorry people, but I get it off the internet. There's always some type of streaming platform.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, yes, it is illegal. Apologize, but don't shoot me down for it. There's always another way to find another streaming device, especially for I watch soccer, and especially for soccer, it is so hard to get soccer on American TV unless you get the package, the programs. And so, especially online, the internet, look up my special website, put it in, go to the streaming platform, and I'm watching my game. It might be in Spanish, but I'm watching my game.
I mean, just like on Google, you can literally look up the game. It gives you the score, and you can see where they're at on the field.
And
it's as simple
you
as
pay
that.
for NFL Now, ESPN Now. Watch it off through the maps.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and that's technically, I guess you could.
Those are
consider
also
that a streaming platform.
Streaming platforms.
I mean, so we see that these streaming platforms are already starting to take over that industry of, like, that we don't need cable to watch the games anymore. If you pay that extra, like, I wonder, that's a good question, would be, is it cheaper to pay for that, or is it cheaper to pay for cable?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of things with cable, I hear people, like, for example, one reason we, drop so many different devices in our house with cable is because there was always some hidden upcharge. Like, me and Mom, I know for a fact we do not have the same, our internet is not connected to our cable. Our cable is, I done forgot. Our internet, Comcast, yes. Our cable is Comcast, and our internet is AT&T. And I mean, like I said, my mom only touches news, so she doesn't buy any other. You can buy a TV pack, TV, and honestly, you always hear about them hidden fees and, it rising over the years, and even though you've been paying it, it can get old because next thing you know, your bill's $50 in the next 2-3 months. They try to rise it on 60, 65 when you're not paying attention. And I don't know about you, but Netflix has been, wasn't it? The first couple months it's like $9.99, but once you have it for so long, it stops at $14.
Yep.
Something like that, right?
Yeah. I know what's funny also is, this is kind of a little off subject, but we have people that go and do the free month trial for things like Netflix, and they just keep doing emails for it. And I mean, is there really
it's scamming.
any way?
It's scamming,
yeah,
but
and I'm sure there's something illegal about it, but is there any way they can stop it?
No.
That's what I'm like. You have the people that pay for it, but then you have those people who are gonna always take the shortcuts, no matter
life.
No matter where you are, there will always be the people that take shortcuts.
Yes.
And honestly, do I blame them?
No.
No, not at all. I use shortcuts all the time. You just said earlier that you use shortcuts. Look, you do you. I don't see a problem using shortcuts if there's no way they can stop them.
Oh man. Will TV die? No. Will streaming devices take over?
Probably. I'd probably.
Yes.
Definitely.
I agree.
Just Netflix,
streaming
Hulu.
apps, streaming devices, and anything streaming. It will be taken. They will add the world by chokehold.
Oh yeah, eventually. And then what I hope won't happen is once you have these top of the line places like Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon Prime,
they don't try to raise prices.
Once they're at the top, what's going to stop them from raising their prices altogether? What if they all come together, they get in one meeting, and they're like, we're all going to raise our prices to $20 per screen? What's stopping them?
Nothing, because everybody's watching them.
That's what I'm saying. And then everybody's going to have to resort back to cable. So I guess that's another reason why cable would never leave. Because if something like that did happen, cable's there. We can just not pay that $20 per screen and go back to cable. Yeah, we don't get all the same stuff, but I mean, I guess it's gonna flip back and forth maybe, unless those streaming platforms are smart about it and regulate it.
Unless you're my grandparents, they're still watching cable TV. My bad. Satellite TV. Worse than cable TV. Love you, Grammy. But I think we basically hit on all subjects, and we pointed out the cons and the pros of both sides. You got anything else you could wrap this up with?
I don't think so. I think that's about it.
Well, thank you, everybody. That's it for today's after show. Tune in for our regular programming by clicking on the episodes link, and we'll see you here next time. Have a good day.